The Stay in Step SCI Recovery Center is a nonprofit, veteran-founded rehabilitation facility that provides activity-based exercise programs for patients with spinal cord injuries and other neurological disorders. The caring staff, well, they've worked timelessly and tirelessly to create a motivating environment that utilizes advanced therapeutic techniques, modern equipment, and out-of-the-box thinking to challenge those suffering to increase their functionality as well as their quality of life. Our friends from Stay in Step, well, they're next on Bayside. Good morning and welcome to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. Like I said before, we're talking all about Stay in Step. Now, I know I said SCI Recovery Center, and what is that? Well, spinal cord injury. That's what we're talking about today. And well, we can't talk about Stay in Step without talking to the founder and the operations manager. I've got Romy Camargo and Troy Smith. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, it's very nice to have you here and sharing your story and what you're doing here in the Tampa Bay area and enlightening our viewers. Maybe there's people out there that haven't heard of you but could definitely use your services. So I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you.
Most definitely. Thank you.
Romy, let's start with you right out of the gate. You were the founder of Stay in Step. So how did this come around to being?
Well, on September 16th, 2008, we were conducting a mission in Central Afghanistan, and we got hit with a pretty big ambush. And while I was directing fires, I suffered a gunshot wound to the back of the head, shattering my C3 vertebrae, paralyzing me instantly. My medic was able to do an emergency tracheometry out in the battlefield, got me breathing. My teammates and him stabilized me, and I flew from the battlefield to Walter Reed Medical Center all in 3 days, so it was going pretty fast.
Wow. And congratulations, you are still here. First and foremost, I want to thank you publicly for your service. Both of you are servicemen. And just for you viewers at home, this gives a personal identity to some of the stories that you may have heard about. Well, we have in person right here, and God bless you that you're still here, alive and kicking, and you are paying it forward, no less, by founding this organization.
Yes, ma'am.
So I can't even begin to imagine how scary and obviously life-altering that situation was. And thank God you had your partners, your comrades with you, and that could think quick like that on the battlefield, and that you're here.
No,
so
thank you very much.
Fast forward a little bit. So then you got back.
I was at the VA, and we understood that once I got out of the VA, that there was a need of conducting activity-based exercise. So my wife had the idea of having a rehabilitation center here in Tampa Bay area, which there wasn't. So we understood the gap between the healthcare system, be it civilian or be it the VA. So my wife told me we should open up a rehabilitation center here in Tampa, and we got a couple of my colleagues together, and some of my mentors, and we put together a plan to open up the rehabilitation center. And from January 2014 to June 2015, we were able to raise the money and open up Stay in Step Spinal Cord Injury Recovery Center on June 20th, 2015.
Wow. And so how has the progress gone so far?
It's been excellent. It's been a journey, a long journey. We're still getting bigger, growing as we speak, and you know, we do everything through donations
Wow.
and corporate sponsorships.
So
and
you
whatnot.
are a 501c3.
Yes, ma'am.
So being able to help others comes at a cost. Those programs, the therapy that you're able to provide, and that's done strictly through volunteers and/or donations and corporate sponsorships.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
And you know, and that's the way. You know, not only do we help our veterans, but there's also a civilian community
Sure.
out there suffering the same neurological disorders and spinal cord injuries that I'm suffering from.
Sure.
So we're able to help the
Well,
whole spectrum.
That was my next question. Who is eligible for and how do you come about being eligible as a patient?
So Sherry, one of the things that Boss was talking about, and one of the things that we always hear, or I've been able to hear when people speak with him, are "Thank you for your service, thank you for your service," and him being selfless and talking himself down. He doesn't really talk about a lot of the struggles of what this lifestyle actually entails. So actually honoring the veteran, the man, and someone who's provided to have the ability to be safe. We're not providing a want at Stay in Step. It's not an option for our clients. We're providing a service of need. Our clients that come in, both veteran and civilian that he was referring to, they need Stay in Step. They need programs like Stay in Step, because it's more than a thank you for your service. It's what are we doing for our veterans when they come back home to increase their quality of life? How are we actually honoring them with action? And that's the rudimentary, that's a fundamental foundation of what our mission is for long-term rehabilitation. We're honoring through our service of our acts. So you're referring to the money component. All of our clients are on some form of financial assistance. Everyone that comes in there, we kind of have, we kind of joke and call it faith-based accounting, because we understand that you can't pay for the lights and hugs. You know, it takes money, and we've been able to create some very strong partnerships, corporate partnerships with local corporations, Army Aviation, General Dynamics, Skybridge Tactical, all in the realm of defense contractors. Corporate Toyota was our largest sponsor to get us started. But it's one of those things to where everyone that comes in, the more that they come into therapy, the more that we help them, because it is very expensive, and it's something that to have a great staff and to have an educated staff, it comes at a cost.
Sure.
So.
And you're right. Therapy is so important. I think one of the things that people take for granted is, okay, this has happened, and they see this, you're mobile at this point, but this took a long time to get to the point that you are right now, to be as mobile and as functional as you are presently. And that's because you've been able to be doing this therapy, and unfortunately a lot of people, most people, aren't able to do this or don't know where to go. So I commend you for doing this 100%. So back to that, it takes the dollars. That question was based because it's a matter of, okay, well, yes, thank you for your service, and how else can I help? Our viewers can help by donating their funds as well. You accept donations, correct?
Well, we do accept donations, but we kind of we more look at it as kind of awareness is kind of what we want right now. We want to, obviously, any monetary means will help the program.
Never say no to.
And 100% of donations go directly into the program. He's been at this for 10 years, and he takes no salary. He takes, and then that's just Romy.
Right.
So that's one of the things.
So one of the things that you at home, in case you're wondering, I know you've got lots of questions as well, you can always log on to their website, stayinstep.org. You're looking at that website right there. That's going to answer any and all questions above and beyond even what we're going to talk about here today on the show. Stayinstep.org, that's the website. We'll have a link for you on ours as well. Why don't you check it out while we go to break? Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelley Sanders. I've been talking with Troy Smith and Romy Camargo, all about Stay in Step. Now, this has been quite the journey, and I know that is an understatement, if anything, for you personally, Romy, in more ways than one. Personally, with your situation, your condition up to this point, it's been a journey. And then also, what I find just personally, side note here, most impressive is that you found it in all of what you have. You already had a full plate in front of you. And on top of that, you thought of others. And if that doesn't strike you at home, something's wrong with you, because that is commendable right there. So I wanted to say that out loud. Now, I'm sure in the short little, you're still in the infant stages. I mean,
Yes.
3 years isn't a whole lot of time, but I'm sure you have found others that you probably will continue to have other people that strike you as like, wow, I didn't even realize this would come into play, or other issues that come up, and that will we always learn great things from issues that occur, right? So are there any stories that come to your mind of other patients or other situations that you've seen?
Yeah, we've
that
had
have benefited?
several clients that have made long strides with us. You know, coming to the center and conducting the long-term rehab that we need. I mean, we've had anywhere from a 79-year-old Vietnam veteran to a 18-year-old high school student, and you know, just being paralyzed or having a neurological disorder, and conducting that long-term rehab that we do at the center. It's you know, it helps. It helps quality of life. You know, it keeps you out of the hospital. You know, because exercise is good for everyone.
Sure.
So, you know, we always tell everyone that, you know, Stay in Step is into the Tampa Bay area, and we are open to not only veterans but to the civilian community as well.
We've
Sure.
had some clients that have actually came in motorized chairs, and a lot of things. We focus from the whole aspect of healing. We're a faith-based center. We're veteran founded and run, but we're a faith-based center. So we kind of believe in, we treat the client, but we also treat their family as well. We provide an outlet for their family, because when Romy first was initially injured, his son was 18 months old, running through the VA, causing havoc, you know, tearing wires and whatnot. So we have a family room for the family, and a massage chair for them to just relax, watch Netflix, and take it out. Because what I've learned through my time serving at Stay in Step is this injury just doesn't impact the person in the chair. It impacts their entire family. The husband or wife becomes the caregiver, so they're the primary breadwinner, and they're also the ones that's changing tubes, cleaning things. So we provide a relief for them. For the children, we provide them an outlet to be fun and be a kid. And then when we focus on the client, we treat them as humans. Like we focus on them as the human being, not just their injury. But we've had clients that have came in, and we have to battle that mental component of what they can't do, because everyone tells them traditional medicine, and you know, you can't do this, you'll never walk again, you'll never do this. But we focus more on the faith. Through God, all things can happen. So we kind of focus on that aspect, and we focus on, if they can move their finger, then we'll make them the best at moving that finger that they can. We've had clients that have come in motorized chairs and recent falls and whatnot, but through exercise therapy and through constant dedication and whatnot, at our annual fundraising gala last year, he actually walked up and with the assistance of his wife on his arm, and gave an address. So we've seen some magic at Stay in Step.
Fantastic. So do you have this gala again every year?
It's annual, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
let's talk
ma'am.
about that
Yeah.
gala. And do you have a date set for it?
We just had our third annual one. Romy can speak to it. Gabby, who's not here, his wife is the ultimate party planner, and
Fabulous.
it was.
So it's something to look for next year
Yes,
for
ma'am.
sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, keep
Every
that
September.
in mind.
Every
You
September.
at home, you'll want to do that, and make sure to keep up with the website to look out for when those tickets go on sale. So let's talk about some of these services that you provide. I know you said that you're faith-based as well, but let's be clear on the services that you're providing. It's not just a faith-based service. Yeah. It's legitimate care and therapy.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
let's talk about some of those services and programs.
Yes, ma'am. So we conduct the activity-based exercise, and it's a long-term rehabilitation care. And at the center, we have a physical therapist, we have a physical therapist assistant, we have 2 trainers and 5 aides. So where a traditional hospital, it's 1 physical therapist for the client. At Stay in Step, we provide one therapist or 1 trainer and 1 to 2 aides. So depending on your level of injury, depends on, you know, how many people you get to have care with.
I mean, it's quality exercise
Functional
time.
electrical stimulation. We do locomotor training. When you come into the center any day, you'll see this guy squatting. You know, you'll see him bench pressing, shoulder pressing, different things like that. We utilize body positioning. Your body knows essentially how to heal itself. So the goal for all of our sessions is to get you out of your chair, get you up, get you standing, get that blood flow moving. And I mean, the benefits on just getting these guys out of their chair in terms of reduced spasticity. I mean, you're in this level of injury, he's supposed to, on average, have 2 to 3 hospitalizations a year. Since his initial, he can speak to that, but he can tell you how many times he's been in the hospital since his initial injury.
Wow. All right, we'll have to get to that. I know you at home are wondering how you can get involved. Maybe you've got other questions. Maybe you know someone that could really benefit from their services. Well, this is the website. You're looking at it right there, stayinstep.org, stayinstep.org. We'll have a link for you on CW44.com's website as well. We're going to take a short break, but we're coming back after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. We're talking all about Stay in Step. I'm telling you, I'm so impressed with your organization. You're talking about, there's so much to talk about. Honestly, we need an hour-long show. You've got Locomoto Saturdays. You've got all kinds of things, programs, services, and clearly you are a walking testament of something that you created and showing just how many abilities you can have just as long as you keep it moving forward. And I think that gap that we were talking about earlier, that's the struggle there, and I commend you for being able to put this together. So one thing that does come to mind, suppose we have a viewer that has got a loved one or is that person that is in this situation. They're making the 2.5-hour drive to Orlando twice a week, which can become quite a bit of not just time, but also finances. The list goes on as I'm preaching to the choir. So what do you say to that person? How do they get in touch with you? Where are you located? What's the process? Is there a process? Is it an application? Give me the lowdown on that.
We know when we started Stay in Step, we wanted a location that was convenient to everybody. So we're a mile west of USF. We're, you know, a mile and a half down the road from the VA hospital.
Sure. So you're conveniently.
Right outside the gate from Busch Gardens.
Sure.
It's in a University Center Drive there off of 30th Street in Tampa Bay. And, you know, we have, you know, the people that we have working there. I mean, my wife can speak to the other wife of, you know, the injured personnel. We have our office manager. Her name is Patricia. She can speak to the mothers of somebody that's injured because her son is a spinal cord injury as well. So we have, you know, those programs where that, you know, not only do we treat the client, but we also help the family.
Sure.
Family
so
out
if
as
you
well.
need to get in touch with them, by all means, you can always call the number on your screen there. You can also log onto their website. It's very informative. Also has a way for you to get in touch with them through that if this is an organization that you feel like you could benefit from, or by all means, if you'd like to help out in any way, you can also find that information there too. Stayinstep.org. We'll have a link for you on CW44.com as well. We'll be back after this. As always, I want to thank you at home for joining us this week on Bayside. And of course, Troy and Romy, thank you so much for being here. Keep doing what you're doing. That's amazing. $312,000 already in free services you've provided. You've helped over 120 people. And you're just in the baby stages of this organization, barely 3 years in. Keep doing a good thing. If you want to go out and help out in your community, log on to stayinstep.org. Figure out a way that you can help out. Perhaps you could use their services. For now, I'm Shelley Sanders. Enjoy the rest of your week.